This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 2440, Ups and Downs in English, Part 2, How to Bounce Back.
Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 200 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection. With your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Colorado and New York City, USA. And to get your transcripts delivered by email every week, go to allearsenglish.com/subscribe.
Everyone has moments in life that are hard, but then we bounce back. Today, find out how to talk about making your rebound and how to encourage others at this key moment in English.
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
Good, Lindsay. How are you?
Excellent. Michelle, do you bounce back when something discouraging happens to you? Do you tend to do that?
I think I've gotten a lot better at doing that. I think I used to let things rattle me a little bit more. I'm much better at letting things go than I used to be. I don't know if it comes with age. I don't know.
That's good.
How about you, Lindsay?
Yeah, I think for sure. It depends on how much I'm meditating in that given month or week, right? Meditation creates space in my mind for sure. But yeah, I try to let things kind of like just roll off my back and kind of bounce back quickly. Now, today is a part 2 in a 2-part series, Michelle. Isn't that right?
Yes, we did the first episode over on the Business English podcast. So towards the end of the episode, we will give you that number so that you know how to find that episode. But speaking of bouncing back, Lindsay, when you want to have good, comfortable shoes, maybe you want to have them to be bouncing up and down. Maybe you're taking a jog, whatever it is. So on the All Ears English podcast, on our podcast, episode 2411, we did a poll. So that episode was how to describe someone's lovable quirks in English. But we were talking about sneakers. And so what was the poll question, Lindsay?
Yes. And by the way, you have to be listening in Spotify to participate in these polls. So we recommend you go over there, follow the show, listen in Spotify so you can actually chime in on these polls. The question was, what is your favorite sneaker brand? We were just curious what our listeners are wearing. And Michelle, drum roll, what were the answers? Who took the cake? Who took the cake?
Nike takes the cake. That's my favorite. So 32% of you said Nike is your favorite, but close behind was Adidas with 28%. And then we have New Balance, and then New Balance had 23%, and then Converse had 15%. So I remember New Balance at some point became cool. I feel like when I was a kid, it was new. It wasn't that cool. And then at some point it became cool. I don't know when that happened, but it did. I know that. Well, that's what happened with Birkenstocks. I was always wearing Birkenstocks, and everybody would kind of joke around about me and my Birkenstocks, but now they're cool. And then also Reebok. We didn't have that on here, but I feel like that's another one that became super cool.
Yeah, something about sneakers that we've talked about sneakerheads on the show before.
Sneakerheads,
maybe we'll come back to another day. But thanks for participating in the poll, guys. Yes. Make sure you are always voting in these polls to make your voice heard. Right?
That's right. So good. Yeah, on that other episode on the Business English podcast, we talked about hitting rock bottom. So we spoke about that feeling. What does that mean? And so today we're going to talk about kind of the other end of this, right? So returning to the norm or going above what was happening. So we're talking about what happens after rock bottom. So maybe something a little traumatic happened to you. You're feeling really low. And what happens next, Lindsay?
I love that. I love that. And Michelle, why does this matter for connection? I think this is really a conversation starter. It's a conversation deepener. What do you think?
Yes. Oh my gosh. This is such a good way to share inspiring stories, right? Share a hardship that you went through. Because people can identify with these experiences and build a deeper connection. They can feel closer to you when you show that you've had a time too, where maybe you were vulnerable, something wasn't going right in your life. There's just so many reasons why this can help you connect with people.
Yeah. And I think a lot of our listeners are looking for that. How do you share just enough to open up to a person, but not too much that you're oversharing? And we're going to give you the language functions to do this, to describe a moment that maybe you bounced back from a hard time, right? It's really deep in our cultural narrative, this idea of having a big challenge, struggling, and then overcoming it. And it probably is in many different cultures, right? So we're very inspired by these stories. Think about our movies, Michelle. So many movies.
It's all resilience and bouncing back and all of these different things. So let's get started on this. So we've been throwing out this one already a lot of times on the episode, bounce back. So, okay, so what does that mean, Lindsay?
Well, just think of a ball. So a ball hits the floor and then it comes back up. But a lot of times we might use this to talk about, new mothers. It can't be easy to be a new mom, right? Physically, in terms of your body, and also mentally and emotionally, right?
Yeah,
exactly. You know about that, Michelle, I'm sure more than I do.
Well, it's hard to bounce back, but you could say I was really out of it for the first few months because of sleep deprivation, but I bounced back after she started sleeping through the night.
Yes, I love that. A lot of parents talk about sleep deprivation, which seems a little scary to me, but
it's pretty scary.
So this would be a conversation, a connector. I know a lot of our listeners might be new moms, new dads. Talking about their experience coming back from the hardest point is a really rich topic.
Yeah, definitely. Or this makes me think of basketball, rebound, right?
Yes. Tell us about that one.
Well, when you're when you rebound, it's usually, somebody missed the shot and so you rebound it. So something, it didn't go through. But if you get the rebound, then you get the chance to have the ball. So it's the same idea, right? You're picking up after kind of a bad situation. You are picking it up and you're just going to keep going. So that's what the idea is. So he was so upset when he failed his test, but he completely rebounded on the next one. So how did he do on the next one, Lindsay? Better or worse?
Did better. Yeah, he did better. And that's kind of how life is. It's not a direct linear path to success, right? Sometimes we have a big success earlier in our career and then maybe we fail. And then I'm thinking of a singer releasing an album. Maybe their first album was amazing and their second one was a little, the reception was lukewarm. Right?
Yeah, I think they call that the sophomore slump. That happens a lot.
Ooh, that's a great expression. The sophomore slump. I love it. And then they rebound. They come back with their third album and they're so much better. They're back to what they were in the beginning, right?
Or sometimes you see it with celebrities who have had some sort of controversy in their life and they disappear for a while. Maybe they were, as we say, canceled. And then all of a sudden you start to see them again and you're realizing they're bouncing back. Like, for example, I think of Will Smith. Remember he hit Chris Rock in the face at the Oscars?
Oh, was that Will Smith? Okay, I remember that vaguely.
And it seemed like no more Will Smith, right? It seemed like, that's just it. And all of our memories of Will Smith and, But now we're starting to see him places again. And it seems like, I guess their PR teams can sometimes work wonders.
Yeah, that's probably why someone would hire a PR team at that point, right? To do damage control.
Yeah, damage control. That's a good expression.
On the timing of when to bounce back, when to rebound. It's all engineered and structured, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay, Michelle, 2 more examples of what you might say when you come back from a hard point. In your career, maybe in your reputation, or just your lifestyle, something happened. Right?
Yeah. So I like this one, to get back on one's feet. So get back on your feet. So it's like you've fallen down and you're standing back up, right? So a lot of this is just like a lot of imagery, right?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Yeah, we're bouncing back, we're rebounding, getting back on your feet. So it's that idea of dust yourself off and try again, right? Like from if from the Aaliyah song. But yeah, it's often after a breakup or a job loss, right? Something shakes you and you have to stand back up.
Yes, I love it. So, for example, I know it seems rough now, but you'll get back on your feet in no time. And we could do a whole other episode. Guys, hit the follow button right now on the show if you want to get an episode on this expression in no time.
There
are very colloquial ways that we might say something will happen quickly. Right? In the blink of an eye, in no time. Michelle, that'd be a great one to do, don't you think?
Yes, I like it. I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
What's the last one?
Overcome something. So this one is a little more descriptive, more straightforward.
Yes.
I'm so proud of how I overcame my fear of heights. Yeah. And sometimes people have these fears. They might use some psychological training like cognitive behavioral therapy to train themselves away from certain reactions or fears, fear of snakes, fear of heights, right? That kind of thing.
Lindsay, have you ever overcome a fear?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I can't think of anything specific right now.
It's hard to think of it off the top of your head.
What about you?
Yeah, I also.
Yeah, maybe like when I was a new driver, maybe I was a little afraid of driving. I wouldn't say it was like a paranoia or a deep fear, but I was nervous. Maybe it was a healthy amount of nervousness, right?
Okay. Well, here's another question. Is there a fear that you have that you would like to overcome?
Oh, a fear that I have that I would like to overcome. Another tough one, Michelle.
I got mine.
Okay, tell us
yours. Mine is bugs.
Oh, you have a fear of bugs. What kind? Spiders or
anything?
Okay.
It's just that I am now like there was a big bug the other day, and normally I have Dan take care of whatever he needs to take care of with the bugs, and I'm screaming and whatever. But the other day I was with my two kids.
It has to be you.
So I'm the big one, and I'm supposed to be the one that's not.
You're the big kid, Michelle.
Right. And I like, this is not me. This is not an area of my life where I'm comfortable. I am freaked out. I'm such a baby about it. So my 3-year-old is screaming and crying about the buggy and the buggy. I just had to be the one to deal with it. I hate it.
Yeah,
so it would be helpful if I could remove that fear. I'll just say that it would help my life.
So that you then could take action, right? And just get rid of the bug.
Right. And not get so grossed out myself. Like,
Oh, you should not move to Colorado. We have this whole thing. We have this phenomenon in June where we get these moths that come into the house. They get into your house. They're everywhere. And I saw the first one yesterday. But they get on your ceiling and you have to like throw a book at it, and then it ruins your paint and all this stuff. It's bad.
No, yeah, that's oh man. Anyway, but so guys, you can see how important this is for connection. I mean, these types of conversations, they're a lot of fun. They can inspire people, encourage people, and I mean, this is not just for the bugs, but it can help you talk about deep things that have happened in your life.
Yes. Michelle, let's go into one of our role plays here. So here we are friends, and you are discouraged because you just got reprimanded at work. That's not good. That's not a good day. Okay.
So we're using rock bottom here as well because this is part 2 of the series. So here we go. Oh man, Lindsay, I just feel like I've hit rock bottom.
I know it feels that way, Michelle. Listen, I really think you'll bounce back after your vacation. It will refresh you. That's how it was for me last time I went away. I overcame what was bothering me and had a completely fresh start.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully I'll get back on my feet after that.
I've seen you rebound in difficult parts of your life before. You got this.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's a connection skill too. One direction our listeners might decide to take this is how to encourage your friends on how they could bounce back if they are at that rock bottom place, using this vocab to encourage them to bounce back, to overcome.
Definitely. Yeah, it's true. That is a good way you can use this. So yeah, I said I've hit rock bottom.
Love that. You said I've hit rock bottom. And then I said, I know you'll bounce back after your vacation. And sometimes, Michelle, that's all it is. We just need a little break. Right.
Exactly. Yes. And then you related to me. You said that's how it was for me when last time I went away, I overcame what was bothering me.
And relating to someone, incredibly important. There are like 3 or 4 connection skills embedded in this episode.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? They're deeply embedded. So pay attention, listeners, get the transcripts, get these skills. And then you said, yeah, that's true. Hopefully I'll get back on my feet after that. And again, we're not talking about physically getting back on your feet, right? We're talking about stabilizing things. Whatever it was that you lost, you want to get it back.
Exactly. And then you said, I've seen you rebound in difficult parts of your life before. You got this. So again, you're encouraging me. You're saying you've seen evidence of this in the past and you know I can do it because of that.
Yes. Now, Michelle, where is that part 1 of this series? So our listeners can go back and get that foundation, where it all starts as being at a low point, and then we can come back up, which is what we talked about today.
That's right, guys. So make sure you check out part 1. That was on the Business English podcast. Remember that. So episode 434, and it's called Ups and Downs in English part 1. Have sales hit rock bottom?
Yes.
So definitely check that out, and then hit follow on the Business English podcast as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, over there, we applied this concept to the business world, but you can take those expressions and use them in your personal life, and you can take these and use them in your business life. That's the cool thing about the fact that we are still human beings going into work. And if you don't know what the Business English podcast is, then open your search bar right now, type in Business English and hit follow. That is our other podcast. All right.
Yes. Love it.
Excellent. Michelle, what's the takeaway for connection today?
Oh my gosh. Well, this is just such an opportunity for connection. I think these all really help. It can help not only share your situation and inspire someone with your story, but also you can use it to encourage people who are feeling a little bit shaky, a little bit uneasy. Maybe they're at rock bottom. So really, like Lindsay said, there's a lot embedded in here, and that role play in the whole episode about ways to really deepen that connection. And you should definitely give these a try.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I mean, it's impossible to go through an entire lifetime without having some kind of challenge or struggle. I mean, it's normal, right? And so when it happens, we need the language to connect, to relate, to share what happened to you, encourage others to get out of it when they're ready. All right?
That's right. Well, I'm glad we talked about this. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling ready to go. And guys, thank you so much for listening.
Great, Michelle. I'll see you back here very soon. You have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to All Ears English. Would you like to know your English level? Take our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.